Hello, everyone. My name is Omar Francis. I'll be teaching a new class here at the U of I for the Japan House. It's actually Art J, which we're so excited about, Art J 397. It's a class that's about Zen, tea, and power is what we're calling it. I was around Japan House quite a while ago when I was a student at the university back in, I don't know, 90 to 94, back at the original Japan House. I remember Professor Gunji there very fondly, and Jennifer Gunji, well, director Jennifer Balsarut was there, and she was a friend of mine, suggested that I study tea, and it just been with me my whole life. Continued to study in Chicago, went to study in Japan, have been back here teaching now. I think it's been over 25 years I've been involved in tea, and it's just become such a big part of me. Try to focus on, or actually bring more highlight to, the real roots of tea. So often, if you look into Japanese history, there'll be wonderful, powerful historical figures, and they'll just mention in passing that they study tea. The reality of it is that their study and their participation in the world of tea was a big part of their rise of power. And there's so many other groups that come together that tea was never just a pastime that people did on the weekends, but really a big part of their lives. And that's what we'll try to focus on. But as I was looking into it, sometimes it felt like some of the information was like I was just throwing shade here and there, like, can you believe this person did that? And can you believe that person did this? And so we really want to put a lot of emphasis on empathy, on why people did what they did, and not to judge people like this ruler wasn't very good because he spent all this time in the arts instead of doing political things. We're trying to show that there's a lot of motivations behind what people do. And instead of people in the past, we also are going to focus on what we do now. The students are going to be required to talk about their activities and defend why they do things. It's very complex. For people, particularly who are in the arts, you realize you can't just make art and that's it. You have to make art. You have to meet with people. You have to write proposals. You have to do grants. You have to do all these things. And it doesn't take away from your art. It actually is part of it. So I'm hoping that in the process, we're going to help everyone have a little empathy for each other. There's a lot of different views out there in the world right now. There's a lot of things that seem like we're on opposite sides, but I think truly we're all on the same side. We all want the same thing out of life. We just come at it in different ways. So if in a little way that tea can help us be more patient with each other and have more empathy with each other, I think that'll be great things. It's tricky because honestly, this study of Chanoyu takes a lot. It's a big thing, and you're studying tea and language and history, and it seems like everything I do seems to be somewhat tea related. However, I do also play the shakuhachi. I started a few years ago just with conversations with a friend, and I was really happy to study something new, to start over again with something where tea, again, I've been involved with for like 20 so years. It's nice to see things from a beginner's eyes again, and just do an activity without necessarily trying to reach a certificate level or to get to do a concert, but just to enjoy playing the shakuhachi. It's sometimes just doing tea all the time. I'm afraid that sometimes we become too focused, too single-minded. And so maybe it's nice to do other things so that when you come back to tea, you can see it from a fresh perspective. So